Did your dad ever come back in the picture? No.
My father got out of prison 2022 of April, and I don't talk to him.
Really?
Mm-hmm. And I know it's wrong of me. I'm not really upset with him. I have little conversations with him when I call my grandma his mom, but I don't know. We don't really have that father-son connection, and that's because I was really upset with him for a minute, especially after it's 2025. He's haven't really had a decent connection in 3 years, and you haven't really put your part into that. I mean, I understand I can't really be too upset because I also have to make that stance to bring him that son connection. But I don't feel like that would do anything for me. I don't think.
You don't think so?
Personally, I really don't think I can learn anything from that man.
That's why we call it the Man Up Club, and that's why it's all about mentorship. I'm going to see if I can help mentor you through some of this. Yo, what up? It's your man, Mr. Dean, a.k.a. KROSS, and you're listening to the Man Up Club Presents on Holy Culture Radio. Hey, listen, y'all know what we about. We give a voice to young black males across America, and our mission at the Man Up Club is to develop young boys into holistic young men of character with three main goals: to get them to graduate from high school, keep them out of the prison pipeline, and get them to go on to college and have a trade after high school. We mentor in 4 different areas, which is life skills, social skills, academic discipline, and civic responsibility. And I have a young man who's a part of our Man Up program who is a member, 19 years old. What's up, Dakari? Talk to me. How you doing?
I'm good, Mr. Dean. I'm good. How are you feeling today?
I'm good. So listen, man, how long you been a member of the Man Up Club?
I recently just started, probably about a month.
Yeah.
Has it been a month?
Yeah. And so what is it that made you want to become a Man Up member?
I was introduced by my mother. She saw what you guys represent and was like, that would be something that I would like to be a part of. And I do. I've been a part of it, and it's been great, actually. All the mentors there, all the people there. It's very energetic, very enlightening environment.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. I appreciate you being a part of our organization.
Of course.
You know, and coming in and kind of hitting the ground running, kind of getting acclimated to what we do. You actually came in at a time in which we're going through a lot of transition. Because we just brought on a mental health counselor, Dr. Morgan, who's really great at what he does. And it's not often, man, that you'll see, a black male who is a mental health therapist, licensed as a marriage counselor, as well as, a family therapist.
Right.
And so we're happy to have him because he's actually my mentor also. And then we just hired a program director, which is Mr. Turner.
Oh, yep. Mr. Turner, I've met him. He's a cool dude.
Yeah, so Mr. Turner coming in, he brings a whole wealth of experience from the Minneapolis public school system, as well as the district. And so, we're going through transition or what have you, because I used to run the program, but now as the executive director, I have to put a lot of my energies in some of the other places in regards to making sure that the organization flourishes. And so, with you guys coming in, we're always got guys coming in, and so we want to make sure, that we're giving them the proper attention, that they deserve, and also for the right reasons. So I commend you for being a part of the program. 19 years old, what is it like to be a 19-year-old right now, man?
Oh my! I actually recently just turned 19 on the 31st, so I'm
Happy
brand new to
happy
this.
belated birthday.
Thank you. I'm brand new to this, but being 19 is cool. I'm young. I got a lot going for me.
Yeah.
I got a lot to learn. I got a lot to do. I got a lot I want to do. I got a lot I want to do.
Yeah.
But
So what all you want to do?
okay. Firstly, I want to continue college. I was just talking to our host about changing my major because I do enjoy the thought of nursing. I like helping people. I like being how do I put this? I like being of service to people.
Okay.
It kind of it helps me. I think it helps me be a better person. You know, holding the door, having good manners, things of that nature.
Mm-hmm. And
But
so nursing. First of all, what made you want to go into it?
my family, actually, I have a whole bunch of medical majors in my family. My mom is a phlebotomist. My auntie, she's a nurse. My other auntie, she's a dentist. My nana, she does the same thing I do. She put me onto my current job. I currently do PCA,
Okay.
so she put me onto that.
Okay. That's what's up, because you went through our job training program, right?
I did.
Yeah. So, for the people out there who don't know, at the Man Up Club, we have a new program called a job training program where we train people on their job readiness and career readiness skill sets. And then once they go through our program, we refer them on to our partners, Neighborhood Hub and Emerge, where they can get certifications in different type of fields, probably about 10 different fields. And so Dakari went to, became one of our attendees and went through the program, and so now he can get certified in one of those fields. So I'm excited about that because it's a really great program. People want to know a little bit about you, bro. Talk to me about your childhood. Tell me how you grew up, and let's walk through that, because what I want to do is I want to allow people to get to know the young men that we have in our organization, and maybe we'll just do some live mentorship online. But just tell us a little bit about who you are and how you grew up and what your childhood was like.
Okay. I grew up in Detroit, Michigan. I grew up pretty well. I grew up without a father.
Okay.
My father was present up until I was 3. Then he went away. But my mother, she had me. She likes to say, she was my mom and my dad.
Okay.
But I grew up well. I had a lot of clothes on my back. I had a roof over my head. I had all the toys that I could imagine. My mom, she liked to make sure I had every brand new pair of Jordans.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's okay.
So she So not having a father figure in my life, she really wanted to step up. She wanted to be everything. She wanted to be my everything, and she was, and she still is. So.
Yeah, that's interesting, man. 80% of the guys, and I don't know if you knew this, but 80% of the guys in our organization come from fatherless homes. Were you aware of that?
Not really, no.
And that's an epidemic that's happening around, and a tragedy that's happening around America, period, where 8 out of 10 black boys in America don't have fathers in their home. And it affects us in such a tremendous way. And I was one of those guys. Part of the reason, just one part of why I started Man Up, though, because I was one of those kids who didn't have a relationship with my father. Right. And I knew the void that I missed. It was a huge void for me, because I think that when it comes to young men trying to understand who they are and find out about themselves and learn about themselves, that we eventually come to the understanding that we're made of the three people. We're, our mom, our fathers, and then when they come together, we are made up of authentically ourselves. You feel me? And so, 2 of them you can kind of figure out, which is if you got a relationship with your mom, you can kind of see what she does, how she acts, how she responds to certain things. And you can see the similarities and kind of figure out where you get things from your mom. And then you can kind of figure out things that are, sometimes you can figure out things that are authentically yourself, but you just don't know what comes from your dad.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? When your dad is missing. So you have to try to figure out, is this behavior, this disposition, this thought process, the way I move, is it authentically me, or is this come from my dad? What you think about that?
I think, so firstly, I think you said authentically yourself.
Yeah.
But I think some of the things that it all comes down to experience too.
Mm-hmm.
So the things that I've gone through in my life, the things that I've seen, that kind of dictates where I take a stance, how I look at things, how the perspective I see life from.
Mm-hmm.
But I've never really, like I said, that connection to know what type of person he was.
Yeah.
So I think But I'd have my mom tell me, you know, this, you do this, I can just like your dad. I'm
Right.
like, well,
What does that mean?
what does that mean? Was he a funny guy? I don't know. I'm kind of, I feel like I'm kind of charismatic, but so is my mom.
Sure. No, I get that. I get that. I get that. And I just think that that's interesting. It's an interesting journey to figure out because I think it's something that takes lifelong to figure out, man. Like it's not an easy process. And I would submit to you that the older you get, the more you probably would long to understand that because we're always on this journey of self-discovery. You know what I'm saying? And eventually, you know, trying to figure ourselves out and learn about ourselves, what we're capable of, what we're not capable of, what we're interested in, what we're not interested in, you know, what makes us tick, you know, what makes us upset, how we respond to certain situations. And just to have so many question marks, you know, it can be real tough. So you had all these Nikes, man. You grew up in the D.
Yeah, I grew up.
Yeah, what was life like in the D, though?
Life was cool. Obviously, you'll see a lot of places that don't look too well in my city, but that's all right because it's always love from all the people there and the places you go. Everybody was always, regardless of where their background or how they were raised or who they came from, everyone always had love in the city. So,
yeah, Detroit, man, is an interesting city. Detroit took a hard hit, man, economically, because first of all, I used to live in Michigan when I was a kid. I used to live in Lansing, Michigan, and my mom worked at a place called Motor Wheel. But of course, we know that the automotive industry is out of Detroit, you know, and so when they shipped a lot of those jobs overseas and what have you, and closed a lot of those factories and plants that made cars, man, it devastated the community.
yeah, can't really call it the Motor City.
I know, right? That's exactly what it was called, the Motor City.
Yeah.
And so, you know, there was just so many jobs and so much economic viability, you know, that was in Detroit. And, you know, you had, and Detroit is a big music scene there too.
One of my favorite artists, Big Sean.
Okay.
In Detroit, yeah.
Yeah.
Who else? Big Sean. I don't want to get her name wrong. I'm not
No,
gonna
it's all
say
good.
it.
Who
She
you
a
talking about?
old little. I think it's Anita Baker.
Oh, Anita Baker.
Anita Baker. Yep.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
then who
so-
else? There's
There's a lot of people.
there's
Well, a lot of
Michigan.
people that were there before you were born, man, came out of Detroit. You know, Michael Jackson used to record there a lot. Motown Records is there. Motown put out the Temptations and all kind of people, man. I mean, it was just amazing.
I didn't even know the Temptations was out there. I listened to them too.
Yeah, man. Motown Records, boy, is like a legacy out of Detroit. And Detroit was known as the automotive city, as well as putting out some of the best black music across the country, bro. So you come from, you know, a really great place. You feel me? Good. So listen, man, you so you grew up pretty good, didn't have a relationship with your father. Mom bought you all of these shoes and stuff, and so did you grow up like in the inner city? You grew up in the suburbs? Would you grow up poor, rich? Like
Honestly, I grew up. What's funny is you would think my mom had it, but at the time she was modeling, but she just wanted to make it seem like, because a kid, he needs everything, needs all the things they want, toys, shoes, clothes, but she just wanted to make sure I really had everything when she didn't really have it herself. But I would say I grew up maybe middle, low class.
Okay.
But I have stooped to the point where there have been times in my life where I have been homeless.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Talk about it. How old were you?
My first time being homeless, I was probably like 8.
Man.
I told you I've been going back and forth between Michigan and Minnesota between that time. Like the first time we made the transition, I was homeless. We had to stay at a shelter.
Okay. Talk to me about that. What was that like for you as let's start as an 8-year-old. What was being homeless like?
Not really understanding what's going on. Like, not really understanding what I know that we don't have a place of our own, but I'm still, I'm still able to take showers, go in the shelter. She washed me up with a hand rag over the sink, stuff like that. We sleep in the car. I'd still be able to go out to eat. I'm still getting clothes on my back, so I really wouldn't know like that we don't have a place, like a place that is ours. But because I'm still getting all the stuff that I need. But around the time I got older, like I'm actually growing conscience, thinking like we're in a car, we're sleeping in a car, or we would go from hotel to a shelter to another hotel, and I don't know. That kind of it didn't make me feel less, but it definitely made me feel sad.
Gotcha. Come closer to the mic.
Sad as in also from a social standpoint too. Having friends, having kids at school. Kari, you wanna come over, or can I come over at your house? I don't have a house, so we can't really hang out.
Yeah. I feel that. I appreciate you sharing that, man. I can tell that's hit a little sore spot for you. I want to unpack it a little bit more, though, from the time you were 8, because the minute that you said it, and then more importantly, the way that you described it, I immediately thought about Pursuit of Happiness. You seen that movie?
Yeah, I have. It's a good one.
How does that movie hit you when you seen it?
Very, very real. My mom, just her being by herself, doing everything that she could to make sure that she's while getting her stuff together, but making sure that I have everything that I need to the best of her ability.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a lot. Like I will always treasure my mom for that,
Mm-hmm.
for keeping me, holding me down.
Yeah.
And my nana as well, though, because on my mom, there's a point in time where my mom couldn't do those things because she had to figure out things for herself. Because my mom had me when she was 18.
Okay.
So during the point, I had to move around with my nana and my aunties. So that's why I was kind of moving around with different family members as well.
Yeah.
And on top of that, it kind of got hard for my aunties and my nana because they have their own stuff figured out. My nana, she's grown. All her kids were grown at the time, and she has to worry about me, another kid. And I'm barely through middle school at the time, and I need all this stuff.
Yeah.
She's going through her own thing.
Yeah. So, like, you're 19 now.
Mm-hmm.
Your mom was 18 when she had you, which means that's a year younger than you are right now.
Yeah.
So my question to you is, can you imagine what it would be like if you had a kid a year ago?
A year ago? It would be hard. I can barely take care of myself.
Yeah. That's why I asked it, because I wanted to give you some perspective.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Have you ever thought about it from that perspective?
No, I haven't, actually.
Yeah.
Like me having a kid right now.
No, a year ago.
A year ago, a 1-year-old. Yeah, no, I couldn't imagine. I don't even have the stability for that. So the way my mom was doing it, she was making sure I had shoes, making sure I had toys. She was working her hardest to make sure I had what I had, and I don't know if I wouldn't say I don't have the strength to do that, but I don't think I'd be ready for that, especially not now.
Yeah. And I can relate to your mom, bro, because I was a single father at 20, which is 1 year older than you are now. And it was tough for me. It was really, really, really tough for me. And I missed out on a lot. I missed out on, definitely missed out on a lot of social life because I had a kid that I had to take care of, you know. But, you know, at the end of the day, it's all worth it. You know, you stick and you stay and you do what you can do and try to provide the best life that you can for your kid, you know, and you make sacrifices, you know, for your kid. You know, I just find it, really interesting, like the perspective you said, it takes a village to raise a child. And so there's so many people who had a hand in actually your development, your Nana, which you light up when you talk about your Nana. Why do you light up so much when you speak about her?
Because she just always had my back, and I know that she's always gonna have my back. There's been times where even in middle school, and even in middle school going into high school, I was homeless. But she
Okay.
always held me down. She made sure I graduated. I had that diploma all across that stage.
Congratulations on the
Yes, sir.
graduation, man.
Thank you. But she was adamant on it. She made sure I got up every day. She made sure I got to school, even though we didn't have a place. We would sleep in the car. She'd be a block away from the school, waiting for me outside. She'd wait to get me up, pick me up. We go get somewhere to eat. We sleep in a hotel parking lot, and then same thing again.
Do a comparison for me and tell me what is being homeless hit like from. Well, you kind of explained from an 8-year-old, but now you also said middle school and high school. So how does being homeless hit different being in middle school and high school?
I'm so much more self-conscious of what other people think, even though I really didn't disclose that side of my life to people because I was kind of ashamed that I didn't have a place to come home. But it's so different. Like, at least at one point, I was able to get a job, so I could at least help out with things. But other than that, it was pretty much the same. I was kind of going place to place. We were in and out of people's houses. But regardless of that, my Nana, she always made sure I had what I needed to make sure I wasn't feeling less of myself. Even though sometimes I did, she would always make sure, like, if you need this, let me know so I can do it for you. And I really appreciated that.
It's so important to have a person to hold you down, man. I've never been homeless. I don't even know what it's like. I can't even imagine it. It seemed like it would be very scary, though. You know, it seemed like it'd be very scary. It seemed like it could even be very dangerous.
It is very dangerous. Sleeping in your car, like, at the time I was super young, so I really wouldn't know about the areas at the time. But even just sleeping in your car, being in an area that you don't know of, the only person with you is, my grandma. She's an older lady, and at the time she also had my uncle. He was about my age right now, so he was also with us. But
yeah, you mentioned that.
no, he's 6 years older than me. Actually, he wasn't as old as I am now. He was
probably really?
About 16. 15.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you see, and that's the thing. You don't never know people's story, man. You never know where people come from, and you never know where people get their resilience.
That's why I don't ever judge nobody. You can't judge nobody if you don't know their background or their story.
Right.
You always just can't judge a book by its cover.
Sure.
You gotta read it. You gotta know that person.
That's real. Yeah, that's real. So you said you faced embarrassment because friends would want to, come to your house or whatever, and you ain't got no house.
I got out.
What's that like?
Disheartening. Like,
okay.
It's pretty sad. Sometimes that would kind of be the reason I distance myself from people. So people don't, because at a young age, how middle schoolers are. Oh, he doesn't have a house, this and that and the third. So I don't want anyone to know of my situation. But the people I did have who wanted me to be around, it's either I'm coming to your house or I'm not going anywhere.
Sure. Yeah. And I could see how that could even affect you dating a girl you might like.
Yeah, nah.
What? Talk to me, man. It's the Man Up Club. Man up.
Yeah, all right. Man, growing less.
Mhm.
Even though my mom and Nana tried to make sure I've had what I needed
I get
growing
it.
up with out of the house or out being able to actually have a space of my own.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that it kind of it didn't. I don't know, just always, I just feel like I would have been able to flourish if I had more of my own space. Because
Mhm.
I was either always, in the basement with my family, or I was either someplace that I wasn't not supposed to be, but just going from place to place. I never really had that stability.
Mhm.
So that would make it hard to even talk,
Sure.
even make relations. Because it's like, I don't know. I'm already worried about where I'm about to sleep my head, so I don't want to worry about no girl.
Yeah, yeah, and it seemed like that would make you move a little bit differently. I could see that. I could see how that could make you move differently, man. My heart goes out to you from being in that position because, but God does things in such a way, man, that we can't even understand it because obviously you've developed into a fine young man, and that's what I want to
Thank
get
you.
into when we come back. Is to talk about your development based, regardless of the situation and circumstances that you grew up in and that you came through. But we're gonna talk about it. You said not to judge a book by its cover, man, and you're 100% right with that because you never should, because you never know where people, have come from. To look at you today, nobody would assume your story. They would know your story. They wouldn't know that you grew up homeless or and all of that. You know, um, you talked about how you didn't engage in certain type of relationships because of your situation. But what I was saying earlier, man, is like God has a way of, like I say, God works in mysterious ways. Like you never know how God is going to develop a person, or more importantly, why He takes them through certain things that He takes them through.
Mm-hmm.
Are you a believer in God?
I am, actually.
Okay. So as a believer in God, did you ever, as a young person who was growing up homeless, did you ever just question God, like, man, what's up?
So many times, actually. Like, there was a point where I doubted my faith to a whole bunch where I even questioned God's existence.
Mm.
That's how sad I was from that environment. But now I know now that like I've gone through that for a reason, and I know that He has something better planned out for me, so that I can grow.
Why do you think God will put you through something like that?
A lesson, testimony.
What is it? What's the test? What's the testimony? I mean, what's the
no.
testimony? What's the lesson? What'd you get out of all of that? Dealing with that hardship.
None of that. Never. Well, I've actually never pointed fingers at somebody with less because I know what it's like to have less.
Mm-hmm.
So I've always, even when I've been in school, there's always somebody who picks on somebody for having less, and I didn't like that.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I was the type of person to stand up to people like that because I know what it's like to be down and not be as fortunate as others.
Yeah. Yes. So did you have brothers and sisters growing up with you who also had the same experience, or what? What was it?
I had my uncle and my cousins. I'm an only child.
Oh, you're an only child.
Yeah,
Okay, got
but
it.
I do have some cousins that are like my brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
Or my sister.
Yeah.
And brothers, little
Yeah.
babies.
And it's interesting that you didn't resent your mom, because I can see how a lot of kids who, if their parents didn't do well as they thought they should, or if they had to struggle because of some decisions or circumstances that their parents, made, that they would resent their parents.
Mm-hmm. And I actually when I got a little older, I had that conversation with my mom because she felt as though she abandoned me. And I'm like, no, I completely understand your situation as the adult that I'm growing into. I understand your position because you had to make sure that you were straight, so in order for me to be straight.
Mm-hmm.
And it was never like she didn't try her best, or it's not like she didn't want things from me. Even if she wasn't around, she'd still make sure she sent my Nana money so that I could have things.
Mm-hmm.
And so I understand that maybe she had to go and do her own thing, but that was to better herself and so that she could nourish some of that into me.
Did your dad ever come back in the picture? No.
My father got out of prison 2022 of April, and I don't talk to him.
Really?
Mm-hmm. And I know it's wrong of me. I'm not really upset with him. I have little conversations with him when I call my grandma his mom, but I don't know. We don't really have that father-son connection, and that's because I was really upset with him for a minute, especially after it's 2025. He's haven't really had a decent connection in 3 years, and you haven't really put your part into that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I understand I can't really be too upset because I also have to make that stance to bring him that son connection.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't feel like that would do anything for me. I don't think.
You don't think so?
Personally, I don't. I really don't think I can learn anything from that man.
That's why we call it the Man Up Club, and that's why it's all about mentorship. I'm gonna see if I can help mentor you through some of this, because I am a father, like I said, I'm a father who didn't have one. So I always try my best to be in my kids' lives as much as possible.
Right.
And me and my kids have had, different challenges or what have you. But I think that regardless of what your position is in regards to the relationship with your dad, I think you can always learn something. And forgiveness is critical, bro. You got to learn how to forgive, because even though if you forgive somebody, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're giving them a pass for what they done or what they didn't do.
Mm-hmm.
But really what it is about relieving yourself from the struggle of it that's holding you hostage and holding you bound and keeping you tied up to the point where you're frustrated, you're disappointed, you're hurt, you're depressed, you feel some type of way, you're stressed. That's what the forgiveness does. But man, even from a bad dad or a deadbeat dad, there's something that can be learned.
Mm-hmm.
Take that from a person who's only had one conversation with his father, and my dad passed away when I was in college, and so I never really got the opportunity to try to fix it. I think as long as you're alive and long as you're breathing, there's an opportunity to try to fix a relationship. And just because, and hear me clearly when I say fix, because fix is not necessarily that you're engaging on a consistent basis, but it could just be bringing closure, and it could just be getting an understanding, a perspective.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it is about understanding and a perspective, like at least just to know where you stand as. Because the thing is, now you're 19, and you're a man, and he wasn't there. He didn't contribute to that. So he couldn't even take credit for it if he wanted to. You feel me?
Yeah.
But the lessons that you've learned, there's no rule, bro, that says that children can't teach their parents something. And the best lesson is always demonstration through action. You know, I say actions speak louder than words.
Yeah.
You feel me? Because I think if you had a kid, you would take care of him, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I would. Absolutely.
Okay. So the thing is, you could kind of show him where he failed through your actions. And what I mean by that is, how would he process it if you did, kind of talk to him about how you really feel and what have you, but do it in a mature way where he can really hear your thoughts and how you process information without being mad, angry, or upset, and demonstrating that he would have to reflect and say, wait a minute, this is my son who I gave birth to, who I never had a relationship with, who came to me. But the reality is that this dude turned out to be a fine young man, so much to the point that now he's doing something that I couldn't even muster up the courage to do, which is to man up and at least be real with me. What do you think about that?
I agree with you.
I agree with the part about forgiveness.
Mm-hmm.
I've never really, like, I'm not gonna say I've never held resentment, but getting older, I realized that I can't let that be a main factor of, like, let that take control of my life. I can't be angry all the time just because of something someone else did,
Mm-hmm.
especially if that person is my father.
Right. And I know it hurts. I know it hurts, and I know it hurts bad because when you don't have a certain, well, you don't, not a certain parent, but when you don't have parents in your life, that can bring a sense of worthlessness. Like, where did I come from? And why are the people who created me not around? You start to look internally like, what's wrong with me? You feel me? Which really is the wrong perspective because it has nothing to do with you. Life be life, and then life happens to all of us.
Right.
And ultimately, we all have to make choices, but we don't necessarily always make the right choices. Even, parents don't even make the right choices. You feel where I'm coming from?
Yes, I do.
So, man, I want to challenge you in that regard, man, because at the end of the day, this is your life. You got to step up and get what you need out of it. And right now, you have the freedom to be able to make your own decisions. You feel me? Your dad doesn't have to continue to be this big question mark. You can get that. You can get that closure. You can continue a relationship if you so choose. But even if you don't choose, at least you can get closure to the things that you need to get closure to in your mind that would help you move forward even faster.
Right.
You feel me on that?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Because I think it's important, man. I think we should all know who our parents are and where we come from. I think that's part of our personal development. I think that if you don't, you shortchange yourself. You know what I'm saying? You shortchange yourself, especially when you got an opportunity to do it. How does that hit you?
It's pretty hard,
Yeah?
I think.
Yeah. Yeah, because the thing is, I mean, you're doing well now, right?
Yeah, I'm doing.
Because you just came from your job, right?
Yeah, doing pretty well.
Yeah. How's life for you now?
Life is going better.
Or is it better?
Yeah, life is going better. I would say this isn't the final stage of where I could be.
Of course.
I could always elevate and do more.
Yeah.
But I think this is a cool spot to be in for now.
Mm-hmm. You're successful, man, but you're not where you want to be. You're young.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? And you got time. You know what I'm saying? You got time to go and get it. Do you ever feel afraid that you're going to end up homeless again?
Sometimes.
Tell me
But
about that.
Sometimes I say I got a little bit of a lazy bone. And I think, I find it hard sometimes to pick myself up or give myself the right self-motivation that I need.
Mm-hmm.
But if I was to think about, like, back then, I couldn't go back to that.
Mm-hmm.
Sleeping in my car or going. And not that there's anything wrong with that, because there are some people going through that right this instant.
Right.
But I can't see myself going through that for a second time around, because I've already been through that. I've already sailed that ship. God has already held that testimony for me, so I have to grow past that.
Get a little closer to me.
Yep. Okay.
I feel that. I feel that for real, man. I think that's a very interesting statement, because the reason I asked the question is because that can be traumatizing. That can be trauma. And a lot of people who face trauma, they react differently or they react to the extreme just so that they do not return to the hurt and pain and disappointment and struggle and trauma that they faced before. You know, some people use it as a motivator. Like for me, I grew up poor, bro. Like I grew up in a small town called Haytown, Missouri. I don't even know if you can find it on the map. Like for real. And if you drive through there even today in 2025, man, you'll see it's still poverty stricken. And I was like you know, my mom worked hard, man, and provided for us to the best of her ability. You feel me?
Yeah.
Kept food on the table and clothes on my back, same way you describe it. But when I looked around at other families and what was going on, I recognized that I had a lot less than most people. You feel me? And for me, I just decided like, man, I don't ever want to return to that level of poverty no more. So for me, I used it as a motivator.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? What about you?
I would say that it could be a motivator, but I can't think of the word for it right now. But I'd say I just don't want to go back to that.
Yeah.
Like that, I have a strong sense of just not wanting to be that.
Okay, so what do you want now? What's the goal for your life?
Stability.
Stability.
I need financial stability. I need to have my own things. I want to have my career in check. I want to continue school. I want things to be leveled, and I want everything to continue to go as planned.
Mm-hmm. You're in school now, right?
Yeah, I am.
Anoka Ramsey?
Yes, sir.
What are you studying?
Nursing.
Nursing? Okay. How much longer before you graduate?
A year and a half.
You gonna graduate?
I'm positive. Yeah.
100%?
Yeah.
Because you got to know that.
Yeah. I'm going to graduate.
Okay. Yeah, you got to know it. That way it becomes the reality.
Mm.
What's your inner circle like?
My inner circle, like the people I hang around with.
The people that are closest to you who influence you the most and the ones that are like right beside you, the ones you listen to.
Mm-hmm.
Influence you good or bad, regardless. But what's your inner circle like?
I feel like everyone has a lot of advice
Speaking
that they
of
want. Everyone has a lot of advice that they want to give me,
Okay.
and none of it's never really horrible advice or bad advice. But I listen, but I sometimes I think that would benefit them more than it would benefit me, or maybe that's just something. Maybe they missed out on that opportunity and they're pushing that opportunity onto me, when that might not be something I want to do with my life.
That's good wisdom.
Yeah.
That's good wisdom to know exactly what it is. That's what's for you and what's not for you. It's a sign of maturity to be able to decipher what's for you and what's not for you. A lot of people are not that wise, especially at your age of 19, and be able to determine the advice that other people are giving them of what's not good for them and what is good for them. Or to be able to see even deeper that whatever they're suggesting, they may have a hidden agenda to the point where it would benefit them. You feel me?
Yeah. But people like in my inner family, my nana, my mom, my aunties, they've always been supportive of me, and I know they always will be. And my friends as well, like my brothers. People, like I said, my brothers. I have a small circle, a small friend group of 4 other guys.
Okay.
And I consider them my brothers.
There you go. So how long you been on your job?
A year or so.
Okay. What do you do?
I do PCA.
Okay,
I take
PCA.
care of.
All right. Yeah, you
I
said
have
that
one
earlier, my
client
bad.
right now. I take care of him. I do laundry. I take him to his doctor's appointments, clean his kitchen, do dishes, clean the bathroom.
Serving.
Yeah.
Even though you're getting paid, you're still serving.
Yeah.
That's good character building. It's important and it's important and it's imperative for you to have good character. Because if you have good character, that's something that nobody can take from you. And it'll always open doors for you that money cannot. That's the golden nugget. Think about it now. You're a young man who has a history of homelessness. You feel me? So the greatest thing that you can develop outside of money, even though money and the security, like you said, for the stability is important to you, if you build the character the character will bring you things that your money cannot. Or let me rephrase it. Your character can bring you the things that money can, but it also can bring you a lot of things in addition to that that money cannot.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make any sense?
Yeah, it does.
You feel me? Because your name is important. Your name will stand up for you when money won't. You feel me?
Yeah.
So it's all about character building. Do you struggle with getting in trouble?
No, for real, no. I've always been kind of a chill kid.
Yeah.
I've never really liked to get into confrontation,
Mm-hmm.
especially with other people, and they try to bring me into it. It's like I really don't care.
Yeah.
I'm always the neutral party.
Yeah. Well, life is better to you, as you say. You're working. You've been on your job for over a year. You got a good job. You in school. You're 19. You got a good circle of friends or family that are your inner circle. So you got the recipe to win. So what's your long-term goal? Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
5 years.
Let's do 5.
Okay.
5 years.
Speak of the mic.
5 years.
I already have my associate's degree, and I'd be working. I'd be in my field, probably doing somewhere along the CNA or probably a little bit higher if I'm allowed to with my associate's degree. I see myself having my own vehicle, my own house, and potentially being married.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm going on a 4-year relationship right now.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
She's supportive?
She is.
How so?
She encourages me to do things that I wouldn't typically want to do. Like I said, I kind of have a lazy bone, but I kind of find it hard to be more self-motivating.
Yeah.
And she makes sure that she brings me that motivation. So I stay pumped up or I stay positive, because I'm genuinely a positive person, but when I'm not in that mode, when my social battery is gone, I kind of become super dry and super nonchalant. What people say these days.
I think it's important to have a good partner beside you that can help encourage you, in a positive manner. Man, it's been so good to talk with you. I pray that God continues to bless you, that you continue to make positive life choices, and that doors will be able to open for you, and that you'll be able to reach back and help people who may even be struggling with the situations or circumstances that you went through. You talk about a testimony. You cannot have a testimony without a test.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me?
Yeah.
And you've had your test, and you're going to have more. But the way in which you handle your test is going to determine, how you handle the other test that's coming. You just never know. Ideally, you would hope that you wouldn't have to deal with too much, but Scripture says that God won't put no more on you than you can bear, and you don't know how much you can bear until He put it on you.
Right.
Been there and done that, man. Been there and done that. So I appreciate you being on the show, man. It's a pleasure to have you. I'm so glad to have you in the Man Up Club.
Of course.
You feel
Happy
me?
to be here.
Yeah. Thanks, Dakari, man. Appreciate you. So listen, y'all been listening to the Man Up Club on Holy Culture Radio. Listen, we got the God Flow Festival coming up this weekend, this Saturday. And we are so excited about it. It's going down in Minneapolis, Minnesota at 515 Jersey Avenue North. You want to be there because we got our man Ace Hood. Y'all know him, his big hit Bugatti and Hustle Hard when he was with DJ Khaled, signed to a major label, and Rick Ross, and now he's independent. He's got some things to say about God and his faith and his family and where he's headed with his music. He's also going to be performing at God Flow Fest, but you're going to be surprised to hear some of the things that he's going to be performing. So make sure you tap in. If you don't come to Minneapolis, to the Twin Cities, make sure you tap into our YouTube page. That's the Man Up Club, the Man Up Club on the YouTube page for a live stream all around the world. Make sure y'all can watch it live for yourself. We got all the artists coming. Sis and Lil Bro, which is Titus and Selena. We got Brianna Shanae, Mike Teasy. Be Different, which is Anthony Edwards' little brother, looking for him to do his thing. My man DJ. Chris Elijah, For Real, Louis Blaze, Muja, Francesca. And guess what? Your boy, yours truly, going to also be performing. My kids told me I had to do it for him one time. It's your man, KROSS. Y'all tap in at the Man Up Club.